listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Chief Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Castle After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Castle After Show.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV, and this is the Castle After Show. My name's Tiona Hobson. I'm filling in for Paige tonight, who sadly is not with us today. She's back in Boston.
Boston?
But joining me, as always, I have the lovely, talented, amazing, splendid, superb, extremely talented, and good-looking.
Oh my gosh!
That was a lot.
I love that introduction. Hi guys, I'm Kate Aquillano, and Paige, we miss you.
Yes, we do. This is season 6, episode 16, room 147.
God, a lot went down in room 147.
Yeah, and I was really sad that Paige wasn't here to keep us.
We took so many notes. We're like, why are we taking so many notes? Paige isn't here to do it for us. Oh, come back.
Come back, Paige. But no, this was a good episode.
I really liked it.
I liked the twist. It involved a little bit of everything. You know, It was a little bit of poking fun, I felt, at Scientology.
Yeah.
And, you know, they had the whole...
A lot of the last couple episodes have, like, they've stolen the story. So it was like Devil Wears Prada. There was Carrie last episode. Probably
with Bling Ring.
The Bling Ring. And then there was like that Terminator one with the time travel. And this was like original, which I wanted them to get back to because I was tired of like, we're just kind of going with the same story here, guys.
Yeah.
So this one was actually really good. And I did not know who the killer was. You didn't even guess it
I didn't even guess it. I was kind of close.
Ish.
I was in the right area. I just picked the wrong person.
So it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I know.
She had a streak going for a little bit.
But I was better than you. So let's
True.
talk about this case. So we have this victim, Justin Marquette, who's found in a hotel room. Yes. He's been shot, and it's in room 147.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Craziness.
mystery. So we find out that, you know, we don't know a lot about our victim.
Nope.
He keeps a pretty quiet lifestyle. And
one gunshot wound to the chest, and it's a Best Travelers Hotel in Albany.
Yes.
It's just random.
Just a really random.
They don't know like what the deal is.
What the deal is, and no one heard it. There's no victim or no witnesses around because the hotel is pretty empty. It's usually one of those hotels where you check in for a night, no bags.
Exactly, and that's what the employee at the front desk said, that he didn't have any bags, so which means he's probably just there to hook up. He actually lives in Albany near the hotel, so why is he going there unless it's for that? And
my favorite fact was he was texting from a flip phone.
I know, they pull up the security footage and it's a flip phone, and I'm like, wait, what is that?
Wait, I was like, can you text from those?
Do those work still?
I forgot we used to have those.
I was like, that's something because no one has those anymore.
No one has those anymore. So clearly it must be a burner phone. If you have a flip phone, we know it's a burner phone or something.
We know these things. We're trained in finding burner phones.
So we try to find out more about our victim, and through our helpful friend, the internets, yes, internets with an S, we find out that he's an actor, and he's actually part of a theater group, and my notes say a super off-Broadway
play. Yeah, it was
play.
like off. He just kept saying
There were so many offs that I lost count,
like,
so it is super off-Broadway play.
So I really want to see that show.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
I
the
mean,
theater looked kind of cute.
But his girlfriend was there, and she was sad.
She was sad, and she was being comforted by one of her co-stars, who I thought the killer was, because
she was wrong.
Why was he already all up on her?
I know.
She hadn't even known her boyfriend was dead for 5 minutes yet, and he was the
jealous
her
guy on the side that always wanted her attention, and then she like was in love with Justin, and he just couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah,
but we were all wrong.
We were all wrong.
Definitely way wrong.
Yeah, that didn't see this twist coming, but he does bring up a good fact. He's like, hey, could this have anything to do with that lady who approached him the other day? And they're like, what happened? And outside of a coffee shop, we find out that we meet Anita Miller, who came up to him and was like screaming at him, and he wouldn't talk about it. Well, they go get Anita. They go pick her up. And she immediately confesses.
I think it was 11 seconds. And Cass was like, I think that was the world's fastest confession. She's just like, I shot him. Yeah. And they're like, huh?
And here is my one problem that I have with Kate Beckett.
What?
11 seconds, someone walks in and immediately confesses and, like, is not happy, but also not remorseful or sad. Like, she never second-guessed the thing from the start. It was just too easy from the beginning, and I felt like Beckett, a lot of times when people come in with their stories, or she thinks she has the right person, and then Castle usually throws out something else, but she thinks she's right, and then, you know, she just lets it happen because
I think
it's
she
like
had
the
to hear
easy
her
path.
out. I think she had to, like, she gave her the piece of paper to write down the whole confession. I think I don't think she thought, like, case closed. She had to, like, hear her out.
But I think she did kind of. She was kind of like case closed.
God,
like
Kate, you're off your game.
She just confessed to it, and we're wrapped. But then it wasn't until, you know, they go in there and what happened? Oh, and then, you know, the other guy comes up and is confessing that. Now it's like, wait, now I have two confessions.
Well, and the thing is, so Anita and then the next guy, and then obviously there's a third guy. They all have the exact same story of how the murder went down. They all have kind of a problem. So Anita is dealing with alcoholism, and then she's been blurry for 2 weeks because they don't really know. They ask him, like, how do you know Justin? They're like, I don't know. Like, why did you kill him? I don't really know. I was angry with him, but, like, why? And they're like, I can't remember. So it's like, what's going on here?
There's a lot of gaps in there that, you know, as someone who's, you know, if you confess,
you were right on.
you should...
The hypnosis.
Oh, yeah, the hypnosis part.
Yeah, she was like, this has got to be hypnosis.
Well, because I've been hypnotized before.
Have you?
It does legit.
Oh, God, that
scares
me. It is legit.
I mean, it can.
Did you do anything crazy?
I did some things crazy, but that's another
we'll talk
story
about it
for
later.
another time.
It's fine.
College, you know.
But the important thing is when Anita's writing her confession, she has this, like, crazy symbol in the corner that
it
plays
looked like spaceships.
Yeah, it was just like a weird.
It was a weird
circle
design
3 thing.
And I think we both instantly were like, "What is that?" Because she drew it in the upper right-hand corner of the page.
And the camera was like, insert symbol shot, then to Anita. You're like, that's probably important.
Yeah, but then no one really asked her about it.
But we knew it was important.
We knew it was important.
I mean, we're keen investigators.
Yeah, Castle recognized it. You know, saw it, but no one said anything like, "What are you drawing here?
This?
Why are you acting so weird?
What happened to you in the last 2 weeks?"
You know, so then I mean, she knows everything about the case. Goes through play by play of what room number it was, the hotel name, that there's bottles that he goes to get a bottle of water, that where he was shot. She knows everything that it hasn't been released to the public yet. So
that he, like, when he died, he pulled a cherry down with him. Yeah. So they're like, if she wasn't there, because then they check out her alibi, and she's having dinner with her AA sponsor that night for the whole time period of the time of death, and the restaurant wasn't even close to the hotel. So she's confessing, she knows all these details, but yet, like, the restaurant, like, the AA sponsor, the hostess, the waiter, everyone says she was at the restaurant. So then they're like, how does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Castle's theoryless, which makes me happy.
Yeah, Castle can't think of anything crazy that's going on. I can't believe he didn't just say they've been hypnotized, because, come on, Castle, even I thought of that one.
Be quick.
But they go check out, Espo and Ryan go to check out Anita's apartment, where they find nothing's too big, but they find that her planner has the last 2 weeks ripped out of the pages, and that her computer calendar, the last 2 weeks, all her appointments are missing from that.
Wouldn't you, if you were going to, like, delete appointments, wouldn't you delete all of them so then the 2 weeks didn't stand out? I mean, just be smart, criminals.
Yeah. I mean,
but,
come on.
So that makes sense. She was blurry for the last 2 weeks. These 2 weeks have been disappeared from her calendar. Like, some things happening.
Yeah, they have her checked out by the doctor. I forget. I didn't write his name down.
Holloway?
That sounds right. Dr. Holloway.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
So he comes and checks her out because they're like, is this girl mental? Do we need to put her on, like, a psych hold or what? He's like, I believe her. You know, I believe that she is confused.
She's telling the truth.
And she's telling the
Either she actually did it or she actually believes she did it.
Exactly. And then that's when we get Sam Carson, who walks into the precinct and is like, hey, I need to confess. I killed Justin. Second confession. Oh no, what's going to happen? This guy has anger issues, so he said that he was just really angry at him.
But yeah, he doesn't know how he knows Justin.
He doesn't know how he knows him, doesn't know why he's angry, can't answer any questions. And he has an alibi too. He's with his brother
at the batting cages. Who doesn't love the batting cages, by the way?
Who's at the batting cages at 12:30 at night?
People with anger issues. He needs to, like, it helps. But he says the exact same story, the exact same details. So it's kind of getting a little sketchy.
Now I think this is when Beckett's like, oh, well, this is when Beckett says that the two of them were working together to cover up for each other. And so she's just like, you're ruining my case right now because you're trying to,
you
trick me.
Right. When multiple people confess, how are you going to really know who the real killer was?
So I think even then that's when I was like, Beckett, you're not really thinking of
the bigger
picture. It's not about you.
Yeah.
And your case, it's about what's going on with these two people who believe that they, aren't connected. So that's just where I got a little crazy with Beckett tonight.
Beckett was a little off. She had her mind in a different place, which we'll talk about later, which is really sweet.
Yes.
But then the third person walks in.
This poor guy.
Dwight
Carruthers, CPA. Gotta get that CPA.
If you're a CPA and you introduce yourself, you obviously have to add that into your introduction. But he had assertiveness issues. Really hard
Which
to
is
say.
probably why he introduced himself as Dwight Carruthers, CPA. Very assertive, very strong stance on who you are. So something was working for him.
Go Dwight.
Go Dwight. But
they don't even let him
they don't let him confess. He's standing there, he's like, yeah, well, because at this point they've heard about this big van, or the big bald guy and the van, and he's like, wait, so you're not going to let me confess?
All you care about is a van? Like, I don't get it.
I felt really bad for him because, he is bad at being assertive, but
he just really wanted to confess to a murder.
And that was the other thing. Everyone was so honest about it because if
that
I
means
woke up,
it's not true.
Yeah, if I woke up kind of thinking I might have murdered someone, but unsure of it, I don't know if this is good to say or not, but I'm not sure I would go straight to the police.
No, you kind of like work it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'd maybe, find like a confidant. Yeah, I'd probably leave the country before they could come find me, like get a jump start on it and be like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm really scared and I'm going to run first.
Well, good thing you didn't get hypnotized and get thought you murdered Justin Marquette. But so Brian and Espo are talking to the neighbors, and the neighbors find out that there's been this red van just like lurking the last 2 weeks around these people's houses.
Which, if you're gonna ride a van around a neighborhood, why not make it white?
Red or black?
Or gray? Or black, but red really stands out. I mean,
and with the window down, they have like a picture of the van, and he's like out the window.
It already sounds a little rape van-y,
It's totally
so maybe let's not put it in bright red. Drive an ice cream truck around. I don't know, something.
You just need to get like a Time Warner truck and just like because those are everywhere.
Those are everywhere.
AT&T, something like that.
Anything like that. No, he chooses a big red van, and it's been parked outside of Anita and Sam's houses.
So now they're connected.
And Dwight remembers seeing the van on his way home. So then we finally ID the man in the van. His name is Miles Madsen, who we never actually got to see in person.
Nope.
During the episode,
they tell us what happens to him.
He tried to run off to Canada. It didn't work out too well.
They caught him.
But
yeah, so then Miles Madsen is like the key guy because that's how they're all connected. It's like, what is this dude? And they find out that he works for some company, but it's really just a front for this EHI,
Eternal Horizons Institute, aka Scientology.
Yeah, basically.
That's kind of what this sounded like. Creepy Scientology type of church cult thing where there's the creepy man in the video with the welcoming, like, at our center we can help you,
we can solve all your problems.
It's really eerie and creepy, but Dr. Bauer is the leader. So then Beckett and Castle go over to the headquarters in Midtown, where they are instantly greeted by the receptionist knowing their name and
that was weird. I still don't get how they did that.
I have no idea, but Dr. Bauer is just a very knowledgeable person.
And we have to mention that the logo for EHI was the symbol, on the paper, the symbol on Dwight's hand. He said he was just like drawing it. He didn't know why. So they're in the right place.
Yes.
They're on the right path.
They're on the right path. So they go to talk to this Dr. Bauer, who is not in the office. He is in Stockholm right now.
I knew this was fishy.
Yeah, he video chats into the conference room to talk to them. I wrote down in my notes, he's kind of a dick.
He is.
He was just rude from the start.
He was like too cocky and full of himself because they were like, they wanted his files, and obviously you need a warrant for that. And he was like, you won't get one. They'll say no.
Which is when I really wrote down Scientology, because, you know, they say Scientology runs Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, that's how everyone gets jobs and stuff like that, and they know everything. So this is very Scientology.
Yeah. Well, he was right. They didn't get a search warrant.
They didn't get a search warrant at first because
but
they did not have enough evidence. But he was so confident. Like,
was
I don't
weird.
know these people. Oh, Miles Madsen doesn't work for us anymore.
He
has
years.
I don't understand the relevance. You know, instead if you don't
And then
see the
he
relevance, and just answer their questions.
He's like talking to an imaginary person off screen. He's like, "Oh, my session's starting. I gotta go," and like delete. And they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
where do we go from now?" But
you know, they go back. They get kicked out basically.
Jasmine like opens the door, like, "Get
She's
out
like,
of my
all right,
building."
this way. I'll escort you out now. And so when they get back to the precinct, though, we now have the results from
Dr.
Holloway that says that they had, what was it?
Propanol?
Some drug that's not good to have in your system.
No.
It's supposed to be for high blood pressure.
Yeah.
But in large quantities, it can affect the memory and the brain like that. So
this starts the theory of like Inception stuff.
They were
like,
planted memories in there. So now we need to talk. Maybe, you know, they were showed a video or something.
Yeah.
So now we need to talk to all three to see if they can remember any little details might help crack the case. Little details. The refrigerator.
Everyone, they were like going through, this happened, and then I did this, and then I did this, and there were 6 bottles of water in the refrigerator. And then the guys were like, no, there were 5. And they're fighting about the bottles, and then Castle has this epiphany, and they just leave, and the 3 of them are like, wait, what's going on? And so Castle and him go back to the hotel.
Those 3, seriously, the 3 happiest murderers
I know.
who are confessing ever.
I kind of like them.
I kind of like them too. I kind of want to see them back around again.
That would be fun.
I don't know.
But then they go to the hotel, and the way that the refrigerator was positioned, if you were at the door and he opened the refrigerator, you couldn't see the water bottle. So there's no way you would know how many were in the fridge.
Exactly. Mystery solved. So that sends them on the quest of finding where this actually happened, because now we know that what they saw didn't happen in this
that
room.
147.
Yeah. So they track it down to the Long Island Best Travelers Hotel, where EHI a couple months before had rented out a whole floor of rooms, including room 147, where they were very secretive in what they were up to and had their own security, and it was just weird stuff. And on the surveillance footage, they found Justin talking to Dr. Bauer
at the front
desk right there on camera. So Dr. Bauer, don't lie when there's video evidence of you with the
That's
victim.
rule number 1. It's rule number 1.
Rule number 1, don't lie.
So then they get a search warrant.
Yeah, so then they can get the search warrant. They go into the room. They find out that the IP address that he was streaming from Stockholm
was my favorite. I was like,
is actually in the building.
He knocks on the door and he's just like, Dr. Bauer's just all disoriented. And they're like, this is
shredding
Stockholm?
everything.
Oh, yeah, he was shredding.
He was shredding
that
stuff.
That means you're up to no good. You're shredding papers.
Because, come on, guys. You should have been doing the shredding before the cops were on their way inside. How are you still shredding? They were there hours ago.
Criminal 101.
You start shredding right away. So that you're done by the time the cops get there.
Hey, it could have jammed. The shredder could have jammed.
Oh, thank you, Roya. Thank you for pointing that out.
They were fixing it for like 3 days. And they couldn't, but they have like prime real estate in Manhattan. They couldn't buy another one.
Send Jasmine out to go get another
industrial size shredder.
Pay a company. I don't know. Anyways, there's no reason to get caught. So it turns out that Dr. Bauer had hired Justin because he's an actor,
Yep.
to do a video. Now, this is where
I kind of got it.
I got it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say it wrong.
Right.
So you paid they're making a video to help their clients deal with their issues by taking it out on someone else.
So
and the best way to do that was by murdering someone?
Well, they didn't really murder him.
Yeah, but that's what they
Well,
wanted them to
so they
envision.
were projecting their problems onto Justin. So, like, Justin was responsible for Anita's alcoholism. Justin was responsible for what was his Sam Carson's anger issue, et cetera, et cetera. And so when they were literally shooting Justin, they were shooting their problems dead.
But they couldn't have put like an animated bottle of alcohol there to shoot. It had to be a person.
Well, Dr. Power said it had to be like legit for it to actually work.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it would work, but that's where his head was.
Yeah, it's just like promoting violence like that, you know, to your problems. That person is your problem. Now shoot and kill them.
Yeah.
That just...
And then you show this video to them when they're in a drug-induced state. They actually think they've done it.
And then bad things come from there. But they did shut down the program when they realized that things were going bad. They also tried to, you know, erase people's memories of the program by giving them more drugs.
Yeah, not good
Drugs
things happening
are
at
not-
EHI.
Yeah, drugs are not always the problem solver here, guys. Sometimes you got to talk things out.
Let's
talk.
Let's talk.
You know, hey guys, we screwed up.
What about a little like circle time?
Whatever happened to my name's Tiona and I'm an alcoholic.
And you just like cheer and you're like, hi.
and I'm gonna share right now.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting me share.
Exactly.
I know a lot about AA apparently. I watch a
I
lot
don't
of TV and movies.
I guess.
The more you know. So this whole thing ends up, you know, Dr. Bauer's adamant that someone is setting us up. Someone who knew about the video is setting us up.
So EHI is sketchy and does some really horrible things, but they aren't responsible for Justin's murder.
No, that goes back to our lovely theater group.
The off Broadway theater group.
Yes, and there we have Pam,
who I didn't even notice before. So how was I supposed to guess she was the killer?
Yeah, I mean, she was there, and then she kind of like backed into a corner.
She was in the background.
And I guess that's what I should have recognized, but he was
picked
just...
up on that.
The other guy was just so, you know, touchy-feely. That I was like, oh, well, clearly it's him.
Yeah.
So Pam, who I guess had recently joined the theater group, is the sister of a victim who died in the EHI Sweat Lodge debacle.
Yes.
That was ruled an accidental death, even though, you know, they tried to take it to trial, but it was ruled accidental. So she wanted revenge for her brother and the other victims. She works for the production company that...
Who edited the video or something?
I think the crew who shot and edited it. So she, you know, saw that Justin was in it, thought he was actually a part of this, so he was to blame as well.
Right.
And what better way to prove a message than by, you know, getting them where it
she
really
obviously
counts.
saw the video. She killed him the way he was killed in the video. But yeah,
she went through a lot. She got a burner phone to text him, like the flip phone, to text him, pretending to be EHI, that they needed to reshoot the video, to meet at this hotel, and then she killed him. And then what turns out, which I don't know if this was even part of her plan or not, she probably didn't even know, that, you know, these three... that
I don't really
Dwight, Sam, and Anita were then, it was triggering something when they read the article. It triggered something in them like, oh my gosh, I did this and I need to go confess.
Yeah, that was probably not in her plan.
And I don't think the video told them to confess about it. So that's why I'm so proud of them for actually showing up to confess, because how many other people saw this video that didn't come and confess to it? That would have been me. Not confessing.
Probably be me too.
So that's how our...
So it was Pam.
It was Pam the whole time. Pam, who are you?
Whatever. But it felt bad for Justin because she was really against EHI.
Yeah.
And he just kind of...
He was just an
wasn't
actor
really involved
struggling.
with it. And so, I mean, she was getting revenge on them, but she really didn't.
Yeah, she didn't.
But EHI did get shut down, and the FBI is, like, doing a full-fledged, like... investigation. So, I mean, she was kind of successful.
She kind of was successful, but at the same time, she kind of... Poor Justin, and now you're in jail.
You're for your life.
Yay, you
lost your brother, you shut down the company, but now you're in jail.
Probably going to be someone's crazy eyes.
Think stuff through. Again, circle.
Think about how your actions...
Talking and circle it up. Just circle it up. And just start talking to strangers.
And speaking of talking to strangers, make sure you go on to iTunes. Talk to us
I
on
love
iTunes.
that transition.
Everyone's laughing at me in the studio right now. I thought it was great. Go on to iTunes, search for our show, Castle AfterBuzz TV. Make sure you rate us, give us 5 stars, leave us a comment, let us know what you like, what you don't like. Tell me how pretty I am. Even though it's a podcast, so you won't be watching me.
But you could.
But you could on YouTube, where you can also check us out, and you can leave your comments there as well. We try to write back as much as we can to all the fans who watch our show. So thank you for watching, and while you're on YouTube and iTunes, make sure you check out the other shows that we do here at AfterBuzz TV. We're up to what, Roya, like 60, 70 shows a week now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Olympics are over.
Yeah, the Olympics are over, so it's back to scripted and reality TV.
Yes.
Hey, so now let's talk about what was my favorite part of the episode.
My favorite too.
Kate and Alexis.
So Alexis is there in the beginning. They didn't know she slept over. She was like tutoring late, whatever. She crashed at Castle's apartment, which is her house too. And when Castle asks her to be like, come home, because she broke up with Pi, she's living in this apartment by herself, working a lot of jobs to pay for it, to kind of prove her father wrong. He's like, come home, come home. She's like, I don't want, like, I can't. And does this, like, glance back at Beckett, making me think, like, it has something to do with her. And I was like, well, stuff's going to go down.
Yeah, because
what's happening?
They didn't talk.
They didn't interact the whole morning.
And Kate was kind of quiet, and Alexis, gave that, there's many reasons that I can't come back here. And you're like, what?
It must be Beckett.
And we've been talking all season about how, we haven't seen them really get to interact in, like, the new mother-daughter type of relationship. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, does Alexis really, like, not like her?
Yeah, not approve of this or not happy about it.
So Beckett tries to bring it up again with Castle at the precinct because
he's just clueless.
Yeah, he's so clueless. He's like, yeah, I mean, there's so many reasons why Alexis, like, probably wouldn't come back.
Yeah, because, like, Beckett doesn't want to, like, tell him. She wants him to figure it out for himself, and he's just like...
And so then she's freaking out, and then she's getting, like, mysterious text messages.
I knew it was Alexis.
Yeah, and she leaves to go meet up with Alexis for coffee just to talk.
It was
woman
really
to woman.
Sweet.
It was. She was like
really, like...
Yeah, Becky was just like, I just want to make sure that I'm not the reason you're not coming back, because I would hate to get in between you and your dad, because Beckett's been there for years before they started dating. She knows how close Alexis and her dad are. She knows what this relationship means to both of them. So I love that she respected it enough. She's like, I don't try to get in the middle of you guys' stuff, but, like, I just want to make sure that you're okay, and you know that your dad does love you, and, you should come back home.
You should come home. And, like, for a minute, I thought Alexis was going to be like, well, yeah, like, having you there is weird. But then she didn't. It had nothing to do with Beckett. It had everything to do with kind of
her pride.
Her pride. And Castle, when she originally moved in with her boyfriend, was like, 1, you're too young. You're not ready. Like, you shouldn't do this. And she's like, now I see that he was right. But, like, I made this decision, and I need to, like, stick with it and do what I have to, like, get through the lease and that kind of stuff. And Beckett's just like, you don't have to punish yourself.
Yeah. I think we've all gone through that, too.
Yeah.
There's always that moment when it doesn't have to be your parents. It could be a friend. You just don't want to be told, I told you so.
Yeah.
And so you're going to try and make something work no matter how hard you have to work at, do extra work.
And even how much, like, the people who told you, who told you it was wrong wouldn't care if you, like, came back. They're not going to, like, hold it against you.
Exactly. So, I mean, Kate gives her some really great advice. It's just like, your dad loves you, and you've already paid the price enough, so don't continue to punish yourself. Just come back home.
Yeah. I thought it was really sweet that she reached out, that she had that, like, mother-daughter moment, because we've been waiting for that all season.
Yes.
And now I just need bridesmaid dresses with the
bridesmaids dresses, a good wedding dress, because that other wedding dress was not cute.
No.
Not having it.
We can't even get on that topic right now because I'll just go off.
But the episode does end with Alexis knocking on the door and her dad answering it and her asking her daddy if she can get back home.
And then during the hug, she mouthed thank you to Beckett, which was really sweet.
It was really sweet. And then Castle's face was just so cheesy happy.
He's so happy.
As he's hugging her. Like,
I love it.
Of course.
I love when Alexis shows up more in episodes, so hopefully her being back at the apartment will have some like funny opening scenes. Because we don't see that much of the home life, but maybe it'll be a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think maybe now we'll get to see even more of the two of them together because they're going to be back under the same roof.
Exactly.
And there's no pie involved. And so, the girls can, wake up and be like, oh, let's grab brunch and mimosas and hang out.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm excited. So let's talk about our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so for the preview, we saw that Kate is going undercover as like a sniper.
Yeah.
What's it called? An assassin. What's
Contract killer.
Contract killer. That's the one. That's the one.
It looks pretty intense.
It looks really intense next week. I'm really excited about this.
It reminds me of an NCIS episode, so I'm gonna see what comparisons I can draw.
Okay.
But it looks like it's gonna be like another original kind of story, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Beckett, out of the office and to see how her being undercover with her fiance around now will kind of change things because Castle's gonna do something to mess up her.
He's gonna show up undercover too. I don't know.
He'll show up undercover with his bulletproof vest on that says writer. That's the kind of undercover
something will happen.
He'll completely blow her cover or something. But thank you guys for tuning in this week. Make sure you keep the conversation going. We want to know what you think is going to happen on the next season. So make sure you get on iTunes, YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. And where can they find you on social media?
You can follow me on Twitter at Kate Aquillano.
And you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at the Tiona Hobson. And on behalf of myself, Kate, and Paige, who's not here, we bid you adieu, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.